Drake's best intros to an album
That's,
ever. I'm gonna
bro, not
hold
even
you.
low key. That is one of the best intros to the album. That shit is
I'm not
fire.
gonna hold you. I don't even like that sample that much.
That
Like
is crazy to
it's
me.
probably just me hating. Listen, it's probably just me hating. Like I don't know, something about like the I don't
Oh
know.
my. Yeah,
Isn't that from the,
that's
this nigga
hate.
like
That is
so
hate.
you hate music. You hate music.
Oh no, I love music.
Oh hell
Bro,
no.
that sample is
This
fucking fire, bro.
nigga heard Drake spit one of his best bars on that bitch. Was like, nah, this is ass.
Facts, bro.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Until I fire.
I love you, I love you, I love you. Yes, sir, one of the best samples ever used on a Drake song ever. On one of the best Drake intros ever. Fuck. Taco for sure might disagree, but what is good, y'all, bro? We still ain't named this fucking podcast.
Oh, someone said we should name it. What did they say? Who is that Nina? You were like, fuck no. I think Taco said something earlier, and then me and you were both like,
Which
fuck
one?
no. Yeah, Taco said like,
Breaking podcast.
oh
Yeah,
hell
the
no.
Breaking Bad podcast or some shit. We are not Walter White in them. Hell no. But yeah,
Didn't Sarah said? Well, not Sarah, but we said parental guidance. That's not
I
unless you
mean,
were
parental
joking.
guidance. That sounded wavy last night, but even that sounds ass now. I don't know how the fuck people
Yeah.
be finding names to shit. I really thought that sounded wavy last night, but fuck
Yeah.
no.
Damn.
Bro, we sticker in the corner of a CD. Fuck that.
I don't know what to name this shit. Welcome back to we'll name this podcast later. When is later? I have no fucking idea. We got Taco here. We got
You what Drake,
Jez
Drake
here.
dropped a good album. Yeah, what's up? What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
Oh my
Look at him try to
fucking
slip that
god.
in, bro. We will begin to the fucking Certified Lover Boy album review. We won't be reviewing it though. I just want to hear what Taco got to say about this shit because he been having me dying on his reviews on that album the past couple of days.
That's what I'm saying. Disrespectful ass nigga.
But before we get into that shit, we're gonna start off with the fucking highs and lows of the week. Taco, what was your best part of the week? What was your worst part of the week? You can go ahead and
Alright,
start
so
that shit.
I'd have to say best part of the week is gotta be honestly shit, it's gotta be last night, you know? Last night was pretty funny. We were in like VC watching some bullshit ass movie called Karen. That shit was ass, but I had like my
Hot
Chinese
ass.
food. I was just chilling. I had like a nice ass drink. I got a little, I got a little, I'm out that good cushion, and
Yes,
something like that.
sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
uh,
Sir.
that shit was kind of fire. The low part, I gotta say, man, somewhere around, when was it? Like maybe like 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. on a
Look at
Friday
this
morning,
dude.
and I woke up and I saw something called Certified Lover Boy drop, and I was like, you know, let
This
me
man
check
is
it out.
a
Let me check it out real
certified
quick.
hater.
Bro, my mental goes like negative 3,742, bro. I'm
Good,
not.
good.
What
You
is
deserve it.
wrong with this dude?
But no, for real. I mean the low, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's like that much of a low this week. It was just me chilling and doing my thing. But what about you, Jez? How you
Hell
feeling?
yeah, bro. What you thinking, Jazz?
Low, a low. I want to see a low. Probably has to be. I think it was Thursday. I went to college. Like, I'm in college right now. So tell me why I had one class in the morning. That class ended like maybe 30 minutes earlier, and I really had no other classes for the rest of the day. But I couldn't go home till like 4, so I was just dead ass sitting in
What the
college, just doing nothing for like
fuck?
6 hours, just sleeping and shit. That shit was so annoying.
Wait, so you had a class early in the morning, that shit ended 30 minutes early, and then you had to stay at school the rest of the day?
Yeah, I don't have a car. I'm license right now. I'm so down cataclysmic, so I couldn't do anything. So I was just dead ass sitting there.
Why didn't you just like walk or something?
I live like 30 minutes out. I'm not doing that.
I felt that though, because like pre-pandemic, I remember I used to go to like my school library, so that's the only way I could ever do work. When it's like, come, I don't know about you guys, but like, when I work, it has to be like completely silent. Like if I hear any like little like music, it's definitely no. Like it's a
Oh
big
yeah,
no
one
no.
thousand
If
percent.
I hear like any people talking, bro, I have to be
Yeah.
like super quiet, like in a super quiet place. I used to go there. I used to get my work done. I'd be waiting for a friend who'd be doing work. I just knock out on the fucking table on the computer lab for like an hour or two. And no, I get that. Just I just be chilling at school sometimes, and then before I go home.
I was forced to.
No,
I
but
was
he
forced to
wasn't
stay
doing
in
it
the
willingly.
Oh shit, you're right. You're right. You're right.
He was
No,
struggling.
but I get what you're saying though. I mean, I listen to music when I work, personally, but I can't have people talking around me. That just pisses me off. A high this week. I don't really know. I mean, this week was like really just like chill. Probably got to be last night too, honestly. 'Cause we were all in DC, serotonin boosting. We all talking, chatting about life. Whiplash was a really good movie. That's an Oscar. Now, I mean, it did win an Oscar, but that's a great movie, honestly. Y'all need to go watch Whiplash. If you haven't watched Whiplash before, that shit is something else.
Yes, please go
That's a,
watch Whiplash, bro. That movie is for sure in my top 10. I just now watched that shit like for the first time about 2 weeks ago. J.K. Simmons killed that shit. Like he might be like actually evil in real life. I don't know how people can just act that well. I don't really understand, but that movie's fucking phenomenal.
nigga for sure racist. He was saying all kinds of crazy
Oh,
shit.
he was going crazy with the slurs. That shit for sure dropped
God damn.
2014. He was saying some
I still
wild
haven't
shit.
watched that shit.
No, highly recommended, absolutely. My highs and lows this week. I don't really think I had any lows, honestly. I mean, my high is probably the same as y'all is sitting in the VC. Actually, no, low was fucking having
Did you have
coronavirus.
COVID,
Yeah, I forgot about. Yeah, low is fucking laying in my bed for 5 days straight, not knowing if I was gonna die or not. Yeah, corona. That shit was for sure low, bro. Like I tried my hardest to forget about that shit, but yeah, everybody please wear masks. Everybody please stay 6 feet back. I can't stress that enough because that virus is not a goddamn joke. Like that shit was for sure made in the laboratory and they succeeded whatever they tried to do because that is some other shit. Please go get vaxxed up if you need to. I don't know. I'll do whatever you can not to get that shit because that shit beat my ass. But
Getting a vaccine don't fully protect you though. I mean, at this point, like you said, just wear your mask and stay away. And stay at home if you can. That's the best way to avoid that shit.
absolutely, because if you get it, then good luck. Have fun fucking laying down, staring at the ceiling for the next 4 days, because that shit is something else, bro. But yeah, I kicked the coronavirus probably about 2 days ago. Was in VC last night with y'all. That was really fun, like to actually get to talk to people, because that isolation is also not a joke. The doctor told me or whatever that I had to stay inside my room for the next 10 days or at least until I stopped feeling sick. And that is not fun, just having nobody to talk to for 10 days straight. That's fucking whack. So for sure talking to y'all in VC, that was 1000% a high. Appreciate y'all for that. But yeah, if we got everybody highs and lows, then I got to hear what Taco has to say about this Certified Lover Boy album. I have to hear that shit.
Wait, okay. Before you start, let's hear Apollo and then me and then Taco last because we have like three
Alright,
different
yeah.
spectrums.
All right, okay. So my first take on Certified Lover Boy, because I listened to this album probably 3 times. Like I like listening to albums a lot just to kind of get the feel for it the first time. Then I listened to it on the car, and the second time, then I listened to like on my earphones, like while I'm outside or some shit on the third time. So the first time I listened to it, I thought I was gonna drop at midnight. Then midnight came, and then Drake dropped something. Was like, yeah, it's dropping at 2 a.m. So I went back to sleep, and then fucking waited till about. I think he dropped it early actually, so waited till about 1:15, and then listened to it the first time. As soon as that intro hit. Like that fucking sample is just so. I'm gonna sound like a damn dick writer because that sample is just so beautiful, dog. Like I don't know what I think he sampled Masego or Masago. I'm forgetting his name right now, but the sample he used is fire. I love just flow on it. I loved rapping Drake more than I do R&B Drake, so that song was for sure a banger to me. As I was going through the album more and more, I realized that it's not Drake's best work like I was expecting it to be, because he was going into it really confident with the whole Kanye thing. It of course wasn't his best work, but I was seeing a lot of hate towards it on Twitter and different places, and I was like, it's not his best work, but it's for sure not deserving the slander and hate that people are giving it, saying this is his worst album to date. Like, there's no possible way. Like, you guys didn't hear More Life? That's kind of crazy to me, but yes, I'm not really a More Life fan either, but I'm gonna give Certified Lover Boy. I've listened to it 3 times. I give it a strong 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. Honestly, I love the samples. I fuck heavy with sampled music, so 40 does his thing, sampling different songs. The features did great on it. Lil Wayne and Rick Ross killed that fucking song, like absolutely murdered. This might be Lil Wayne's best verse in the past like 3 years, I'm gonna say.
Lil Wayne killed it.
Yeah, Lil
Killed it.
Wayne absolutely murdered that fucking verse. I love the outro. I love I think it was 7 a.m. There's just a lot of standouts on there. Like I don't see the hate it was getting. That's why I can't kind of wait to hear what Taco has to say. But I kind of didn't want to come on here and like compare Kanye and Drake. Like I really really fuck with Drake's album. Kanye's album was really good to me. But man, I guess we kind of have to since they wanted to drop them together or whatever the fuck. But yeah, I'm giving Drake's album an 8 out of 10. So it was very very good to me. What about you, Jazz?
Yeah, I wanted to go second because I feel like I'm in the middle between you and Taco. I know Taco like doesn't really fuck with it like that. But like to me, I could see the good in it, but I can definitely see the bad. And to me, it was like to me, my final rating would be like a 6 or a 6.5 out of 10. Because like I for sure know that's not Drake's best at all. Drake could do way better. There's a lot of like throwaways on that album, but like that intro song, Fair Trade, 7 a.m. What was some other songs? The outro was good. The one with Jay Z snapped on that hoe. Jay Z snapped. I don't know who Jay Z was talking about, but that nigga snapped. But the reason I just can't give it anything higher than maybe like a 7 at best because like I just like way too sexy. Some of the lines on the album, not from even Drake, but even from the features. Like why 2117 say something about clappable on his song? I was like, what the fuck is going on? Please tell me.
That was
Please tell
21
me.
Savage.
Please tell me.
He's I'm gonna make
And
that
even
ass clap or some shit. I don't know.
oh, I think even some of the features they didn't show out, and that's the thing though. Let's say the features who did show out, they took over the song completely. Like the two interludes he had, like the one he had with that one girl, I think it was like Thames or something. She like that was only her song. Drake wasn't even on that bit.
Yeah, but
And then oh but there was one with Thames too, right? Like it was I think it was like an interlude or something, or maybe not an interlude, but like it was like it is she just made it her song. So both the songs weren't even like to me weren't even Drake songs. It was just like it was like, why is Drake even putting this on his album if he's not gonna just show out? So I don't know. This is like Drake could easily do a lot better, but I'm not gonna sit here like Apollo saying like just trash the album. The album is not trash. Cause if we talking about trash albums, we have Chance the Rapper's Big Day. We have like all Little Pump's career. Like we got way worse
absolutely.
things out there than talking about this Drake. Like I wouldn't say it's mid either because it's definitely not mid. Cause there's a lot of bangers I can take away from it. That intro alone makes it not mid in my opinion. But I mean, shit. Let's see what Taco has. Let's see what Taco has to say.
I
All right,
gotta
in
hear
my
what this dude got to
opinion,
say.
you're wrong, bro. Uh, I mean, I know you're trying to give the benefit of the doubt and
You can't
everything.
even speak.
No, bro,
We're not
listen,
even
I'm
giving it
trying
the
to.
benefit of the doubt.
No,
It
no,
was
no,
a
no,
good
no, not you, bro.
album.
Not you, bro. No, I'm talking about Jez, cause talking about well, not benefit of the doubt. That wasn't the right term, but basically saying that it's not mid just from like the intro track. But I would disagree. But
Okay, yeah.
so basically, um, I mean, I don't think it's fair for me to give. I know I've said it like to you guys and like on Discord as well, just like giving my like I guess a rating for the album itself. I'm not gonna do that on the podcast just because it just wouldn't be fair because I've only listened to the album about like maybe I think it was like what twice or maybe 1.5 times. But yeah, I don't think it's fair to just give like a rating like out of 10 like right now. That being said, now this album was not good. Now let me tell you why I think it's not good. I think it's a little bit more of a little bit less of maybe each individual song itself. Well, that's also included too, but the way I see it, when artists make albums, especially when they're top tier rappers, like very high people like Drake, Kanye, Kendrick, Cole, Joey, Badass, Earl, whoever you may choose. Excuse me. So whenever it comes to them, you always kind of have to take everything into consideration when it comes to like rollout, when it comes to execution, when it comes to like so some albums, from these artists may have concepts, some may not. Direction also, sonically how it sounds. So the thing is with this album, with Certified Lover Boy, there was absolutely nothing new that Drake did in this album. Now, does he have to do something new each album? Does any artist have to do something new each album to like be successful? To have fans, and, make like a club banger, like be successful in that aspect? No, of course not, because no matter what, you have like an artist like Drake, of course, a big superstar. No matter what, you could release like a 2-track EP, like just like fart noises. I mean, I guess you could kind of make the same argument with any like big artist, but people are gonna buy that shit like crazy, and so it's of course it's gonna be mega successful. But keeping that out of just like mentioning that, but also not trying to focus on that so much, like numbers wise, the whole there was no direction that this album was going for. There was no concept that this album was going for. Like I said, it's more or less the same of Drake that we've heard the past, well, like maybe 3-4 years. Um, in my opinion, I mean, me personally, just looking over the track list right now, from my first and second listens, there's only really like out of this whole 21 track album, there's really like 3 songs that I would really ever go back to. So it would be "No Friends in the Industry." That was a good song. I really liked
Fun.
the instrumental on that.
Fire ass song.
Drake has some bars on that.
Yes, okay.
So it was. Hold up, bro. Hold up, bro.
But 3 songs?
Listen, it was that, right? The second one that I really like, well, I also was going to Jez's point where it wasn't even Drake's song, but I think it was Yeba's "Heartbreak." I think it was just like Yeba song. That was
Yeah.
a beautiful song. That was beautiful. I know it doesn't have like Drake doing a verse, but it was a beautiful song. So that comes right before "No Friends in the Industry." The third one that I really fucked with was "You Only Live Twice." That's the one, obviously, with Ross Wayne. They both kill that shit. Going into the features of the album,
Oh, you,
I know,
wait, you didn't like Fair Trade?
Hold on, let me ask you about some, like, personally about some of these songs.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So you didn't like the intro at all.
Not that I didn't like it at all. It just I didn't really care for the sample.
That's crazy to me. You didn't like
Yeah.
Fair Trade with Travis Scott.
No, the Travis, it was like a verse, right? No, the Travis, I wasn't really fucking with it like that. Really, the first, now that we're talking about the first half of the album, I really did not like the first half of the album at all. I feel like that's also kind of what helped me, like, I guess, turn me away from the album per se, because, I know Champagne Poetry, he does spit some bars on that. I don't really care for the sample. Poppy's Home is also, kind of got some bars in there. Girls Want Girls, that is a bad song. In the Bible, Lil Durk has a somewhat of a decent verse. Giveon also does his thing. I didn't like the Jay-Z verse at all, honestly. If I'm
What?
What
real.
the hell?
I think no. Listen, going back to the artists that were featured on the record, a lot like what Jess was saying as well. I mean, obviously not all the features are bad, but a lot of them just didn't bring their game. They just didn't go all out like they could have, or not even go all out. It's just like do it like a decent job, because you have Future and Thug and Way Too Sexy. Man, Thug could have dropped decent bars. Those features were not good. I know the hook is supposed to be like I guess not necessarily made for TikTok, but people for people to do their little dances, for that to go viral and stuff. I get it. I guess Future was okay and Too Deep. I didn't like the 21 Savage feature on a Knife Talk at first. It kind of grew on me as the week went by. I was looking at the past few days I've been going by rather. Um, and yeah, it just goes to Wayne and Ross, like I said before, great features. The Cuddy feature, it was nice. I didn't really care for it so much, and that's me being a Cuddy fan. And just overall, like I said, it's a culmination of a bunch of these things like that. The features were not hitting. The beats, I will say this, 40 kind of killed it in some spots, because some of the beats were great. The thing is, you can have the best beat in the world, but if the artist doesn't come through with like either bars or it's like something like a good idea, it's not going to work out, and it just did not work out. And I just don't think it's a good album. It's something what Drake has been putting out for the past few years. He needs a new sound. He needs a new direction, something fresh, not just for the fans, maybe the casual listeners as well. I think Drake is one of the easiest, artists to kind of get into, like no matter where you are, becoming a fan or trying to listen to him for the first time. because of his discography. You know, obviously he has great tracks. You know, it has many albums, things like that. It's just this album was not good. I just I don't see myself like I don't see my well, when it comes to the the rating in a few days or something. When I listen to it a few more times, I don't see myself giving it over like a 4 out of 10. I just don't. And
So are
that's,
you?
I mean, it's unfortunate, but I listen. It's not like I genuinely like hate like Drake. Every single song that Drake puts out, I fucking hate. But like, no, I want this dude to do great because I used to, a lot of the old Drake songs. I've told you guys I really fuck with. You know, classic Drake. You got like Take Care Drake. It's awesome. If you're reading this, is too late. It's great. I just want him to drop something good, and he hasn't been doing that for the past few years, and it's just a disappointment.
Are you basing like how good the album is off of the differentiality that he's had between the last of his albums, or just how good it is? Because I noticed
No,
you're
just
saying it's not different from his last album, so that's why you're not really messing with it.
well, it's not necessarily that it's like not different from the last albums. What I meant by that is basically like the past few albums have just been like kind of more or less the same, like type of sound, same type of you know, basically like sonically, like I said, it's kind of the same sound, same direction. It's not that like oh those were better and this is like not as great, so it's terrible. Not necessarily like that. It's just I'm evaluating every piece of art, every piece of music that comes out. I evaluate it on itself at first, and then later down the line, I'm like, okay, so let's go back to the other albums. How was it? And just really off of first and second listen, you can for me at least, I can just kind of tell it's not like it's just it just wasn't good to me. So I'm not yeah. Did you guys have any like questions or like trying to see like because I obviously I understand both of your angles when it comes to it, and I feel like if anything, I'll probably agree with Jez more when it comes to trying to be like I mean I can't really be impartial because you know me when it comes to Drake, but yeah, like I said, it just I don't think it's a good album. And at first, I mean, I don't mean to like, go on like a whole banter, but at first I wasn't really thinking, or try to comparing it to, I know a lot of people have been comparing it to Donda and everything like that. I do think it is a better album than Donda, but not necessarily because I think, Jazz, I think you made a TikTok saying like, you can't really compare the two albums like
Yeah,
track per
yeah.
track because they are like so totally different albums. But like I said, that being said, I do think Donda is a way better album just because the criticisms that I've had for this album, they kind of are the opposite of what for Donda. Like that's I mean I guess that's just Kanye as an artist overall. Like he has new sounds every single album, and it's like a new direction. And that in that case for Donda, he was just dedicating to his mom, and those are things that I like in an album. Obviously, when it comes to individual tracks, it's another layer of like critique that I have to get into. But uh, yeah, like I know just a lot of people. I just wanted to mention that because a lot of people have been using like trying to explain the why they don't like CLB um as to like because Donda is like such a better album just because the whole thing going on. I don't I mean I do think it's Donda's the better album, but like I said, it's not really a good way to see like albums and stuff like that because if it was like a Kanye-esque album, like a Donda-esque album that Drake did, that'd be different. Obviously, they'd be similar, but they're two totally different albums. They can't really be compared, and that's basically what I have to say on CLB. It's just not good.
Well, whenever I'm like rating any album, I never compare somebody else's album to somebody else's because like they're obviously going for two completely different audiences. They're going for two completely different sounds. So whenever Drake dropped CLB, of course everybody's first thing was to well, let's do song for song. Is Moonlight or is Moon better than the other Kid Cudi song? Like that's not the way you should need to approach albums like this because obviously Kanye made Donda for his mother, and Drake
Yeah.
made CLB for club singles and for girls to listen to and for sounds on TikTok. Like you can't compare the two albums whatsoever. So whenever I go about like rating an album, I always compare it to prior albums in that artist's discography. So like if I was gonna rate CLB, I'd be like, okay, well how good does this stand up against More Life or Nothing Was the Same, or if you're reading This Is Too Late, or any of his other albums. So like I kind of as I was sitting there, okay, so at first my first reaction was like, oh shit, well let's see if it is better than Donda. But then as I started listening to it, I realized like comparing this album to Donda is like just mad corny. Cause the thing is like Kanye wasn't setting out to make an album to be compared to club singles. I mean, he was making an album in dedication to his mother that passed away. Rest in peace. So it's just like the fact that people instantly rush to it to compare the two albums, and then the fact that Kanye even kind of played into it was like, I don't even know if Kanye was the one playing into it. We can definitely, I think Drake was probably for sure a little more on the heavy side of the beef, just trying to compare the albums or whatever. But like, I just think it's corny to even try to compare those two albums. Like, we can for sure like say Donda is a great album and say this CLB is a great album, but like comparing the two albums when they're not even in the same like track is kind of weird, honestly. But
I feel that.
I don't know. It just came off kind of weird to me, honestly.
Yeah, no, yeah, like I was saying before, it's just like I understand just because like it came out like both in the same week. They have this like magical, unreal, realish beef or whatever whatever that shit is. Obviously that's people's like
shit fake as hell.
Exactly. It's just people's instinct to just is Donda better? Is CLB better? But like like you were saying, it's not fair, and it's not even like there's no point in comparing the two. It's just what I would understand. Like I said, it's just comparing like it as an album, not like to each other, but just as an album. Is this just better than this album? So that'd be different. So no, I get what you're saying with that.
It's just definitely strictly preference. Like a lot of people have to realize that. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of bias implemented because if you grew up with Drake, or maybe if you grew up with Kanye, they had like a huge effect on you when you were a kid. Of course, you're gonna, or maybe they just helped you through a hard time. You're just gonna love whatever album more than the other, just off rip. So I mean, it don't really matter. And even a lot of people can probably feel with the Kanye album because maybe they lost a mother or a dad or someone like that recently, so they can feel with that more. And then maybe people who are just, God know, like he said, like a lot of women are just fucking with the Drake album because they can sing along with the songs. I got like as soon as Apollo's like, oh yeah, Way Too Sexy is like a huge like banger for women. I've been seeing that everywhere. Like Rico Nasty had that shit playing when she did her video on TikTok recently.
Yeah, bro. Like, when I realized that this album was made, it wasn't made for men. So like, in the end of the day, like my critique doesn't even matter. Like this album was like made, in my opinion, strictly for women, because I've been seeing women go crazy with these songs, just like on TikTok and Twitter, Instagram. Like they are playing this shit everywhere. Like, I don't know, bro. Drake for sure knows who his target audience is. Drake for sure knows what type of songs will get women, the plays. I mean, somebody's listening to this shit because it's projected to get 750,000 first week. Somebody, I don't know if the haters are listening back. You said what?
A lot of people hate listening to it though, because I think they put out the second day listeners, and it was like his was higher first day, but it was way lower second day compared to Donda. So a lot of people probably would just hate listening. Yeah, a lot of people would probably like hate listening or something.
I think y'all are kind of overestimating like how big of a number 700,000 people are. I mean, people hate listening to Lil Pump album, but he sells like 100K first week, if that. Like 700,000 people first week is a crazy ass number, especially with Kanye projected to sell 400,000 this week. Like, how many people were hating Drake enough to go listen to his album 700,000 times? That's a wild number. Like, I don't even think his last albums got close to selling this. Like, I don't even know. I mean, I haven't seen anybody say anything about like farming and stuff like that, where they just like get robots and shit to listen. But like, that is a wild number. Like, if niggas are like carrying this album to 700K based off just hating, I mean, y'all might as well just go pay the niggas bills itself. Like, that is fucking crazy. So I don't know, but that's CLB. That album. I really fuck with it. You heard Taco's rating on it. But actually,
not wrong though.
Speaking on Donda, Drake actually released or leaked the song, quote unquote, that was supposed to be on the album featuring Andre 3 Stacks. You guys heard that?
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet. I heard like snippets of it. I heard both the verses, like a little bit of both the verses. They're both snapping on that shit. I ain't gonna hold
I heard
you.
it, and I just want to give my like I kind of want to like I'm still on this topic, but I still kind of want to talk about back to what we were talking on the last podcast. If the question came up whether it was if Drake or Kanye or if they're like nervous up or the other one dropping or something like that. So
Yeah.
I said that I think Drake was nervous and like Drake was feeling the pressure over Kanye, if anything. And I think that move that Drake did, him leaking that Kanye and Andre track, that just solidified it for me because he might have seen, like, I know we all saw, like, on Twitter, everybody was like, doing the CLB memes, bashing CLB as soon as it came out. So like that reception, of dreams and the success that it's going to have and that it has been having so far. Obviously, a lot of people are big fans of it, but people were still trashing it online, and a lot of online chatter gets around. I'm sure people like Drake, people in his camp have like, we're telling him like, Drake, these people are like not fucking with it. You got to do something, and he was like, oh, okay, let me just go ahead and leak this real quick, but as like a move basically. But the thing is, it was one of the dumbest things like that he could have done because as soon as he leaked that shit, everybody was praising like the Kanye. No, not necessarily the Kanye verse. More was for the Andre verse.
Yeah, I can't vouch for that move. That move was fucking stupid.
It was the dumbest thing because it just exposed Drake to being like, being the one that was nervous, being the one that's been like under the pressure of the whole releasing within the same week and stuff. So I think that just solidified that viewpoint. I thought that, like I said, I thought that was a dumb move by Drake. But then again, I think what Jess said last podcast, everything is strategic. I think it was Apollo there as well. But everything is strategic. So obviously Drake probably did that shit on purpose and like knowing it was gonna look bad. I don't know, something like that. But there's no way.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Exactly. That's the whole thing.
The speculation is that Drake released the album so he like had a reason in order to diss Kanye, because apparently that song is like the only song that Kanye has like verbally, like actually dissed this man and not just like done a subliminal or something like that. But other than like, I can't even think of why Drake would think to release a fire ass song like that, because Andre's verse is just fucking phenomenal. Like that. If that song would have been on Donda, that would have been not a game changer, but that song would have for sure been the best song on that album. That song, I don't know why the fuck he released that shit. Like that might be the dumbest thing he could have done in that situation.
I think Andre didn't diss Drake in the song, right? Andre was just like
Kanye dissed him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a good song, but he's only releasing it because of the Kanye part. He's not messing with Andre 3000. He's probably.
But why would he release it though?
He said he wants to like. He says he's saying fuck Kanye. He wants to like. He's using it for the Kanye part alone.
What?
He's not. He's
not. I think it's.
How are you gonna say fuck Kanye then release a good Kanye song?
But I think it's not a good Kanye song. We're looking at it because of the Andre 3000 verse, not because of Kanye's. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not because it's a great Kanye song. It's a great Andre 3000 verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. The only thing is like going back to like why I was saying that it was just corny. It's just honestly, Drake could have released that, right? He could have just got like that one. I think like Kanye's verses like
yeah, he could have released Kanye's verse.
He could have just released Kanye's verse, not kept Andre out. The thing is, Andre was talking about like basically referencing his own mom who passed away also a few years ago, and it was like a very heartfelt and very like emotional verse, and so that just made Drake look super corny, terrible move. Like I said, if he was gonna do that, that was like a little oh hey, like look, I have like your leak or whatever. You just could have dropped the Kanye verse. That would have been all it. But I mean, Drake knows everyone loves like Andre. Like the thing is, like I said, it has to be like strategic because no sane person in like the hip hop game would do that. Because obviously, 3 Stacks has very good intentions on that verse and just overall as a person, as we've all seen and everything like that. And he released a statement. He was like, yeah, I was hit up by Kanye a few weeks ago, just to hop on the record, for dedicated to his mom. And he was like, of course I'll do it. And plus, he wanted to shout out his own mom on the record, on the song itself. And he was saying that, he didn't like that. I guess he wasn't talking about the leak itself. He was talking about like the song, how I guess Kanye like kept his verse in a track where he was dissing Drake, where Kanye was dissing Drake.
Yeah, he didn't know that he dissed Drake.
He didn't know. And then he was basically like, oh, I love, all these people. I love all these people who inspire me. Drake inspires me. I think it was like, I love to, keep on working with like, Kendrick, Tyler. I forget who else he said. Yeah, Lil Baby.
He said everybody except J. Cole.
Like, wow.
That's so wild to me. I know J. Cole felt some sort of way. Like, imagine 3 Stacks saying every rapper he wants to collab with that's like not a new rapper, and he doesn't say J. Cole. That still kind of took me off guard, honestly.
Have they ever worked together before? They haven't worked together before.
No,
right?
they never made a song. He said everybody. He said every rapper's name except J. Cole's.
Yeah.
He said Kanye too. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't fuck with J. Cole. Even up to recently, only didn't Drake and him like reconcile. Like no one fucks with that nigga.
For
it's not
what?
Like, it's not that like they. It's not because they probably don't. They don't hate him or nothing. But he just don't be talking to niggas. He be just staying to himself. Honestly.
He's in his own lane. Yeah.
Yeah, he's staying to him in Dreamville. He don't be like fucking with other people like that. I mean, I can't. I mean, shit.
Wait, so you heard the Kanye verse in that song, right, Taco?
Yeah.
What do you feel about that? Him dissing Drake.
Well, the diss itself is, I mean, when you're gonna get like a serious, I mean, I wouldn't even call it a serious Kanye. When you're gonna get like a Kanye talking about like when it comes to disses and everything like that, we know Kanye's track record, and I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't anything like special or anything like that. It was just a little shot at Drake. I can see obviously why he decided to keep it off the album, whether it's because by the end of the creation of it, maybe he thought it was like just like maybe uncalled for, just because the whole album itself was dedicated to his mom, and maybe like a little diss would have been like I guess disrespectful to put in keep in that. He could have like held up because he didn't want to like do the beef, like I want to be the bigger man. I personally I don't think so, just because I feel like Kanye's such a troll. So he could like drop that shit like maybe not on the album, just maybe like a SoundCloud track or whatever, and like just go about his day. That's just how he is. But I mean for the diss itself, it's honestly I'm trying to remember what exactly he said, but it wasn't anything special. And I don't think it's unless Drake responds to that, which would be kind of stupid. I don't think anything is gonna happen. But
yeah.
If there was a whole diss track like one-on-one, if Drake releases something like tomorrow and Kanye has to respond, I don't think he's going to respond, just because Kanye doesn't really do that anymore. Like Kanye is not really the type. Like I said, it's just going to be a troll. It's just going to be lift yourself up off your feet. Like part 2, that's all it's going to be, bro.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. Actually, is if you think that response even deserves a diss from Drake. I mean, because obviously we've seen what he does to Meek Mill. We see what he did to Actually, no, he didn't do anything to Pusha T.
Yeah,
but
bro.
As of right now, Drake disses are all right. I mean, like they're actually pretty good songs. Like Duppy Freestyle, even though he got torn to shreds by Pusha T, it's still a good song. Like nonetheless.
Duppy was clean.
And so if he does a diss like that, like Meek Mill level towards Kanye, do you think it was like deserved?
Deserved? I mean,
but didn't he already reply? That was the whole point, right? He released that to be like, I dissed Kanye on my album because he said this about me. Y'all just don't know it yet.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, like, they're throwing a whole bunch of subs at each other, honestly. Like 7 a.m. on Bridal Lane or whatever the song's called. Like, there's definitely some Kanye stuff on there, but it's not like disses. Like, he's not like straight out trying to end this man's whole career like he was towards Meek and Push. But
okay.
I mean, it's just slight little subtles that you can count as disses. But like I'm saying, if Drake just all out diss this man, Kanye diss, drops that shit on his fucking 64 radio, OVO radio, whatever that shit's called, 42, like would it be deserved?
You should put Smiley on that bitch. I want to hear that nigga.
Absolutely fucking not.
Fuck no. Anyways,
I'm glad that song didn't make the album.
God damn it.
I think it was Smiley's song though. That shit is ass.
Oh, I need that shit. That shit grew on me. I ain't gonna hold you.
You're disgusting. No, just the Drake verse is good. Like the Smiley verse is whack as shit.
No, he grew on me, bro. You're not listening to him. He's speaking this shit.
No, he's not. He just says Gucci and Prada don't match.
I think he says Louis and goes together. He's speaking.
I'm gonna slap that nigga.
God.
Okay. They have nothing in this bitch.
Oh my god. Yeah, bro. I don't think he's gonna end up dissing Kanye. I feel like that was just kind of. Hopefully, that was the last little tiff that these niggas end up going through. CLB was a very good album.
You see these sales? Hell no.
No, I mean the thing is, the only thing that can happen from here on out I guess we'll see what the sales are throughout the week. But I think Drake did end up outselling Kanye because y'all said the hate listeners or whatever. But
because Kanye released on a Sunday and Drake just did his thing. Like, there's a bunch of factors that go into it.
I mean, I feel
so.
like if Drake,
Yeah,
not
that's true.
Drake, if Kanye would have dropped on, like a regular Friday, what did he do? Like what, 400K, I think it was, or something like that. That was like, I think it was like 300, 400K. I feel like he would have done like another 150K. It's he wouldn't
Yeah, for
get
sure.
to Drake level, obviously. I don't think. I mean, I'm sure. I think Kanye's like dropped like. I don't know if it was Graduation or any of those albums. Like, it definitely has reached like 1 million in a week. But I mean, just people, like I said, people buy what's popping, people stream what's popping, and an album made for like club bangers or something to play, on the radio. Obviously, Drake's gonna win that 10 out of 10 times. So the sales are gonna go to him. But yeah, we'll just have to see on the numbers.
yeah, I ended up seeing how this whole story unravels. Like I said, both albums are very great to me. I'm not gonna compare the two. I know that's probably what people came to listen for. I'm not gonna compare whether CLB was better than an album that was written for somebody's mother that passed away. But both albums very great. I'm satisfied on the Drake talk, even though that's my man. He did his thing on there. He did his thing on there, but I guess not everybody feels that way. But
Hell no.
on to a different conversation that's been kind of having me laughing all week. Did you guys did you guys see the clip of the guy talking to Logan Paul?
Oh man.
That is so funny to
That
me.
that has to be discussed because you know Drake and Kanye had a phenomenal week, but this man has been getting tormented the past couple of days, as warranted, of course, as warranted. So I'm gonna explain the story, but there is this man. I don't know what the fuck his name is. I'm not even gonna say his name because he's a corny dude. There is a guy. I think he was born in Ohio. He lived in Ohio. He quit his six-figure job, flew to LA in order to have a conversation with Logan Paul, saying basically, "Hey man, I just quit my job. I really don't have any skills. I don't have a skill set, but I do want to work for you." And Logan Paul told him, "If you don't get your ass out my face and go work for somebody else." So if you guys have seen the clip, I kind of want to hear what you guys have to say about it, because that clip is just honestly, it's just absolutely wild to me that somebody would have the audacity, and I think it honestly shows a little bit of white privilege, but we can get into that to a little bit. But I want to hear what you guys have to say a little bit.
We talked about this. We talked about this so much, like over the last couple of days. I mean, we all come to the same conclusion, like that man. Like, of course, Logan Paul did the right thing, and like, I don't know why he would quit a six-figure job to go to LA and beg for a job from somebody he's never talked. It's not like he had like a previous, like maybe a DM from Logan or something like that. He just went through on a whim, snuck behind the stage, and was begging this nigga to give him a job. I was like, what do you want to work as, like an assistant or something, like as an equal?
He wanted
Like,
to be his assistant.
like, what have you done for TV? I just don't understand. I
Well,
really just
the
don't
thing is,
understand.
Logan Paul word for word asked him. He was like, "So what? What are you good at? Like, what are your socials looking like? You got 1 million on YouTube and TikTok, anything?" And the guy was like, I can't do anything." So I just don't. What would possess somebody to fly all the way across the country, quit their job, paying six figures? I think he was a welder or something like that.
I think 6 figures, golly.
Yeah, he's making 100,000 a year. Like, it's just some wild shit. Like, I don't.
22. He's 22, y'all. He's 22.
And he's
young as fuck.
22.
He's young. No one's making that kind of money at that age. At least not regularly.
I mean, like, we can give him, like, I guess a little bit of leeway because he's young, but I don't even want to give him leeway. Like,
Bro,
I want to tear this man
I
apart.
would never be a dumbass like that. Leave a fucking 6 figure. Bro, this dude. Oh my god. I would just, I try to I try to like process the whole story. It just reminds me of all those videos you might see on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have probably seen shit like that, but it'll be dudes like, all right guys, so we're gonna go to this Wendy's and oh shit, I almost choked. We're gonna go and offer them $5,000 to quit their job. Some bullshit like that. But it's like, bro, even if you make minimum wage at like a Wendy's and like make good hours, you're getting more than that. And like obviously, per year, there's absolutely no way any sane person, would quit their job, even if it's like a minimum wage job for like 5 to 10 grand, because obviously they make more than that in the whole year. So it's just really stupid, especially going back to what Apollo mentioned about the whole well, I guess it's more of like the white privilege aspect of it. It's like this dude, 22 years old. I'm 23, bro. I am not getting paid $100,000 in my job right now.
I'm saying.
Nowhere near it. And like, this dude is mad young. Has the privilege, the absolute privilege of being young as fuck, 22 years old, having at least $100,000 a year, making good money, having a good job, and just throwing that shit away for clout. Not even like clout, but like an attempt at clout. Because even though his video might be going viral of him going to Logan Paul, and I think it was like with the airport or something like that, like even though that was the video that's going viral, I think I checked his YouTube channel a few days ago, and he had like maybe like a couple thousand subscribers.
Really?
Like, and it's just him talking to the
Yeah,
camera.
but he has
It's like,
3 videos.
bro, that shit is gonna last maybe like a good 4 or 5 days. After that, not a single person will ever care about what you've done. And I mean, that sounds kind of fucked up, but it's just like, it's true. Like, why would you? It's only people who are like the most privileged who do the stupidest shit when it comes to, fuck it, I don't need this $100,000 job. Let me go over here talk to Logan Paul. I mean, I get it. I get it because I get why you might want to do that. Why it might be a thought like, oh, this is like, I'm gonna do like a viral like TikTok thing, like a lot of people have done. I get why you might have that idea, but in reality, you're a grown ass man. At 22 years old, you are grown. You're an adult. You know better. And so I don't know what he thought, especially since he has no skills at all. Dude
He
probably
does
can't even like
nothing.
open like a Word document. Like, he has no skills at all. What makes him think that someone like Logan Paul, mind you, Logan Paul is not a Viner like he was like 5-6 years ago. Logan Paul is,
A
like we
businessman.
mentioned in the last
Yeah, businessman.
last podcast. This dude is big league. This dude is a millionaire. He has ample money, ample resources. Like he said in the video, like a very tight team. There's absolutely no way some nobody with no skills, no social media following is gonna be able to get a job from Logan Paul. It was one of the dumbest things. I mean, obviously it's not like like a huge important like a subject or whatever, but it was just one of the dumbest things I've seen this week. It was dumb.
It's just the fact that whenever stories like these happen, and like usually the internet tries to take sympathy over the side of whoever it happens to. Because like at first I saw a lot of people attacking Logan Paul. Like it wasn't until recently that I saw like people actually being like, "No, this guy's actually stupid as fuck." Like I think
Right, oh, shit.
Moist Critical made a video saying like he was stupid and stuff like that. But at first a lot of people were on the side of this kid. So it's just the fact that he can get those easy like hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube, and I think he's at like an easy like 20K on TikTok, probably making like 5,000 views per video. Like he's getting these because of sympathy, and like there is sympathy that's not deserved because like he didn't do anything in order to even come close to having that conversation with Logan Paul. I mean, like I think he just now created his YouTube actually, and his TikTok didn't have any like probably like 10 videos on there before he went to go talk to Logan Paul. Like this guy isn't working to be a content creator. This guy isn't uploading to YouTube. He isn't uploading to TikTok. He was literally just a welder making 100K and decided one day, I'm going to go talk to Logan Paul, and I'm most likely to get that shit. And if I don't get it, I'm going to have the backing of the internet, and I'm going to be rich and famous. Like, I don't see how it's like some people's race is so, I'm talking about like race as in like track and stuff like that. Some people's race to fame is so like shortcut. I really don't understand how like that can even happen in certain situations like these. Like how far can sympathy go before you like gotta look at people and be like, bro, look, obviously not everybody's meant for this shit because you're not even willing to put into work. Like you just want to take the shortcut to it. He tried to talk to Logan Paul, and then even failing that talk, he still ended up making it farther than most people that have been working their ass off for it. Like this is a topic like it's like Taco said, it's obviously not that important, but like it is to certain people because like the fact that he can just make it that easily just by having a failed conversation and becoming a goofball in front of everybody. It's like, I feel like that's a conversation that'd be easier to have, honestly. Like, the privilege that some people have, they can just get to the top like that easily, like through the easiest of shortcuts. I mean, even like if you just take away this whole situation, we can put this guy in a way different situation. Like, let's say I think me and Jez have had the conversation about like family money and, you know, generational wealth and stuff like that. Some people just like make it in life easier than others for whatever reason that may be. I mean, I'm gonna say it's race. Like, obviously, if a black person were to try to sneak backstage at an all-star event, like, that would not have went the same way. I don't even know.
He did that shit.
I don't know how the fuck he went backstage. Like, it makes no sense.
How? I don't know how he did that.
It's literally not possible. But I don't. That kind of pissed me off a little bit to see that he like got so much leeway with doing this video, and I know it wouldn't have been the same for like any other race. The fact that he's able to like post his crocodile tears on TikTok and YouTube and get, I think that was like 20 million views easy of him just crying in his car saying, "Oh, Logan Paul, you know, I'm basically owed this position." Like, no, you're not owed anything, bro. Like, you're an idiot for quitting your job. You're an idiot for even flying to have that conversation with Logan Paul when you haven't put in any work to do anything. It's just it's a deeper, darker thing than what people on TikTok and Twitter just ran with. Like, obviously, yeah, he didn't deserve that, but they feel they do at the end of the day. Because he wouldn't have done that if he didn't feel he was owed that position. And it's not just him. It's a lot more people, too. I mean, if you really want to have the conversation about it, it's a lot more people. Like 90% of their race, yeah. But we ain't got to get too deep into it, but that guy's a cornball, honestly. But I think Jez, he did end up sneaking backstage to go to the Jake Paul versus Woodley fight. We were gonna have this conversation.
Oh, it was that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How do you sneak back on that event?
I have no idea. But I know we didn't get to have the conversation about that fight last week. That's whenever I ended up getting coronavirus. So you guys didn't have anything to say about that. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley happened last Sunday. Jake Paul won, of course, as you all know. I think he won by points. There wasn't a knockout. The fight was actually pretty boring. It was more or less Jake Paul just running around in circles while Tyron Woodley stood in the center of the boxing ring. I mean, if you guys want to say anything about that, I figured he would win, but I want to get into what's his next move from this, like after this fight.
The whole fight itself, like it was really boring. I mean, like most of them have been pretty boring. Like most of the undercards have been more entertaining than the main cards recently, with all this like not YouTube boxing, but I guess like celebrity boxing, I guess. I mean, like Jake won at the end of the day. Like whether you think it's rigged or you think it's fake, or if it's not rigged and you think he's a really good boxer, he still won at the end of the day. Still getting paid millions of dollars. Even Tyron Woodley, the one who lost, still getting paid millions of dollars. Whether he faked it or not faked it, he's still getting paid. So it only matter at the end of the day.
He don't give a damn.
It don't matter. They don't give one damn. All the yeah, they even said too that Jake took before the fight happened. They said Jake took like a pay cut to make it to where all the undercards get paid a lot more money. I don't know how true that is, but if he did, that's kind of cool on his part too as well. But his next move, in my opinion, he has to face like a real actual boxer. Because I don't know what Jake wants for it to happen. I don't know if he even cares if he gets like the recognition of being a real boxer or not. But if he wants the recognition, he needs to go find an actual boxer and box them and win. And if he wins that, at that point, then no one can say anything. Because at least with these MMA fighters or this, I guess like this random celebrities, if you want to pull like, oh, he's rigging them or he's faking or he's paying them off, I guess you can say that, or you can say like, oh, like since they're MMA fighters, they're not used to playing, not playing, but fighting in the boxing ring. I guess you can say that as well. But if he wins with an actual boxer, it doesn't have to be Canelo. I know a lot of people are saying Canelo, but it might be someone else, like maybe like an A-list or a B-list boxer who actually boxes like as like their profession. If he goes into that ring and beats their ass or like wins by whatever the fuck he wins by, at that point then we have to be like, you have to give the nigga his flowers, because at this point the man he's done a lot. But if he goes in, cause I think he wanted to. Well, not he, but Tyron Woodley wanted a rematch from Jake, and then Jake said to get a tattoo saying like "I love Jake Paul" or something like that on his body, and then
Yeah.
he would rematch him. He better not do that because if that nigga is doing that, he is getting branded, and that nigga's dumb
Why?
as
Yeah.
hell.
Why is nobody talking more about that happening? Like, what is that? Why is there just so much corniness going on this week? Like in the fucking news media. I mean, the fucking Drake releasing that leaking that song, this dude trying to talk to Logan Paul. Like, what is going on in this world? Like, if Tyron Woodley gets tatted on his body, "I love Jake Paul," just so it a chance another rematch to this dude, like that, you might be the corny of the week, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, Charlemagne has his donkey of the day. We might got to do like corny of the week because that shit is fucking whack, bro. That shit is absolutely whack. Jazz, like, what do you feel about a black man getting a white man's name tatted on him? What do you feel about that?
That nigga, I ain't gonna hold you. That shit is so fucking. It's one of those like, but you're bringing us back as a race. Like, why the fuck are you doing that? Like, you already got paid, and the thing is, like a lot of people are posting those pictures of him like having Jake on the ropes and not doing anything with it, and it's like, nigga, you couldn't even take your chances now. What makes you think you're gonna take your chances next time? Just take your money and leave. You saw Nate Robinson. He took his check. You haven't seen Nate Robinson anywhere. That
Hell
nigga's
no.
quiet.
He got
Nigga's
ghost.
quiet. I don't know what this nigga's fight. He was begging for one. Like, right after the fight, he's like, "Bro, please give me a rematch, please." Like, nigga, no, you lied. You
Goddamn.
lied. Get away.
No, because he shouldn't be trying to rematch him. Like, even as a business move, right? Jake should not rematch this dude. Nobody gives a fuck about this dude anymore. I don't even think people cared about Tyron Woodley like going into this fight. I wouldn't watch a rematch of this shit. What Jake needs to do, take his money. Honestly, I'd probably just let him get that tattoo. If Tyron gets that tattoo, then he was just stupid enough to get that shit in the first place.
That's
Let him get the tattoo,
Yeah.
and then let Jake be like, "Yeah, fuck that. I'm not getting a rematch."
Yeah.
Go on. I wouldn't say fight a Canelo level boxer yet, but definitely like a boxer that's probably as strong, 10-5, 10-6. Just fight a boxer just so niggas can stop saying that you're not fighting real boxers. Like, once you get that argument out the way, like you can fight actual boxers, then you can go back to fighting the UFCs and the basketball players and shit like that.
You need to keep finding boxers because you can't go down once you get to the next level. You have to maintain that level. Let's just like a high name for let's say it's like Conor McGregor or some shit. Then maybe I don't know if Conor McGregor is even still fighting after that injury. But I mean, like, you have to like maintain that thing and know. If you fight Canelo 1 minute and then goes and fights like Kevin Durant, maybe not Kevin Durant, but let's like just some
KD.
like Dwight Howard. Like, let's see the face of Dwight Howard, like some washed up basketball player. He's not washed up, but like, he's not like
Damn.
he's not big. He's not as big as he used to be, and that's for sure true.
That's a fact.
He's not as big as he used to be. Like, you can't do that. Like, I'm not like I said, Canelo should be like one of his last fights. I think he's trying to end off with like facing his brother Logan Paul and then beating his brother. Whatever the fuck.
For sure. End off with Logan.
So he needs to like maybe put Canelo before Logan. Oh, he still needs to fight KSI too. He still needs to fight KSI. That's another big one.
I mean, if anything, I'd probably fight two boxers, like two at least household name boxers, not Canelo, because Canelo's gonna fucking destroy you and ruin any chance of you ever selling a fight again. Fight two boxers, fight a KSI. I wouldn't even try to go for that Deji rematch, honestly. Deji got fucked up fighting that random ass dude. So fight KSI, then end it off with Logan. I'd give him about 4 more fights. I wouldn't fight
KSI, Canelo, and then Logan.
The thing is, I replace Canelo with like a fighter that's not as good as Canelo, because obviously I don't even think Canelo would even take that fight, honestly, because he thinks Jake and Logan are ruining the name of boxing, even though they're honestly making that shit way better. But
but he would probably fight him to shut him up.
You think Canelo would fight him just to shut him up? I doubt it.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I mean, he's getting money for it. He's gonna put his I guess it's like his not decision, but like his like stance on the line. Like, if he loses to Jake in that fight, I don't know what the fuck you people say about like, oh well, it's rigged. It don't matter. That's boxing on the line. So it's
if Canelo loses to Jake Paul, people are for sure immediately saying it's rigged. They're going crazy.
We're living in a different timeline at that point. Like, ain't no way.
I was looking at the whole list. Like it's called the hit list for Jake
Oh
Paul.
yeah.
Jake Paul hit list. So we have, he just beat Tyron Woodley. Next on the list is Canelo, Nate or Nick Diaz. You have Kamaru Usman, Timmy Fury, Conor McGregor. You have KSI. Javante Davis, and then at the very end you have Logan Paul. So I do agree with Apollo. I do think maybe he could do two like let's put it like this. You could do like a like a B C level, maybe like a B level boxer his next fight. You could do like a KSI after that, like a little meme fight, I guess. And then for his second to last fight, you can have someone like Canelo. If it is rigged and if it does win, good for him. If he doesn't win, then I think he's still going to be able to get enough, I guess money for like a pay-per-view event for his final fight, which would be his brother Logan Paul. And then that shit, I mean, obviously, at that point, it's just a whole meme. It's just a whole, they're just obviously they're entertainers. That's what they are. And so
Yeah.
I do think that could be a route that he's going to take, 4 more fights in that case. And I think Canelo probably, is going to end up, being, signing on to that. Like I said, if it's going to be like his second to last fight, I feel like he could. Will he, like right now? Probably not, just because he sees, obviously he sees Jake Paul as a joke and they're ruining that is ruining boxing. But like I said, if Jake Paul fights like a B-lister right now and he beats him, then maybe Canelo's gonna be like, okay, so I see the numbers that they're pulling in. I see what the fight was, whether it's a bullshit fight or not. I feel like he could sign up for that. But like I said, I think he definitely has 4 more fights for him. That last fight with Logan Paul was gonna be funny. I definitely will not be paying for that shit.
No, I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I never said I was gonna watch it. I'm just saying, allegedly, I might watch it without paying. Allegedly, but anyways, it's all about entertainment at the end of the day, and I think Jake Paul, as far as his fight with Woodley was, you basically covered it. You both did. It was just a lot of running around, hugging, as a lot of these boxing matches are. Ended up winning. Okay, that's cool. And yeah, we just have to see. I'm sure we're all gonna pay attention to what Jake Paul does next. He's a fucking menace, but we'll see if he can actually pull off a good, entertaining fight next time. I doubt it, but we'll see.
So if he fights all these boxers in KSI, do you think he makes it to Logan Paul undefeated?
I want him to. I want him to.
I like him to. That'd be pretty cool to see. I don't if he fights Canelo and Canelo loses, fuck no. Like
that's wild.
I'm Mexican, so that shit means a lot to me. So
wild.
How do you think we feel? We've lost 2 black men.
I don't give a damn about them niggas. One is trying to get branded. I don't give a fuck about that nigga.
What about the other one? He didn't get branded.
He's a basketball player. I don't care about that nigga. Yeah, keep killing.
Does he still play basketball? I have genuinely heard of that nigga. I haven't heard of him since that fight. He retired?
He's been retired.
What?
He fought a retired basketball player. And they were trying to make him seem like he was the next fucking Canelo. Like, nigga, no. He's not that good at all.
Wait, so Jez, so your stance on Logan and Jake have kind of like switched a little in these past couple of months. Like I remember talking to you about Logan and Jake, and I think
Logan 5 as fuck.
Yeah, I think you kind of fuck with Logan now, and then I don't know how you feel about Jake though, but I think your like ideals on them have switched.
Jake a dickhead, but Logan 5. After watching, for all the people who's listening, go watch the podcast called Impulsive featuring KSI. That conversation between these two people who've we've seen these niggas as they were like teenagers, like they're both assholes, both kids, don't know what they're doing, making very stupid decisions. KSI had the whole thing with his family, with Deji, fighting with Deji. Logan was over here, suicide boys. We all know about that shit. He started the apocalypse, ruined it for a lot of YouTubers. That same white privilege, but let's not talk about that.
Real.
But all that shit. But seeing how far they came as just changing, through I guess quote unquote being canceled and just all this shit. It was really cool to see. I'm not saying I love Logan Paul, but I have respect for Logan Paul. Not like it means anything. I'm just a random ass nigga.
I love you. I love.
Hey, look at him! Look at him singing the song. This dude loves that song.
I'm fucking with y'all.
Oh my god!
I hate this nigga. Fuck go. But Logan Paul got my respect. Jake is still The thing with Jake is like Jake is not a teenager no more. That man isn't he like 24 or some shit. He still act like a whole like 16-year-old. That nigga he needs to grow up
Well,
fast.
the thing is, like, they're both like trying to take two different approaches towards the media. Like Logan is playing the good guy, like, oh, I've changed. I was a bad guy in my childhood days, but now I'm doing way better in life. And Jake is not like Jake is okay with being able to play the bad guy in all this. Because, like, he obviously knows that anytime somebody watches a Jake Paul fight, we're all watching to see if he loses or gets knocked out. That's just how it is. So, I mean, they're just taking two different approaches toward this whole media thing. Honestly, I really fuck with Logan and Jake only because I know that, like, it's all an act at the end of the day. I mean, obviously, they're just acting. This whole boxing stuff, of course, that stuff was real. But, like, the whole shit in the media, like the gotcha hat and... just telling people to get tattoos and shit of them. Like, it's all a fucking act. But,
I get a goddamn tattoo. So fucking pissed.
Nah, he better not get that shit for real. That's gonna be fucking corny as hell. I'm gonna hate that shit.
I want Jake. If he does get that, I want Jake to just be like, I'm not fighting you. I need him to say that shit. I need it.
You know he is. I mean, he fucking snatched off Floyd Mayweather's hat. He doesn't give a fuck about anything. If that guy gets the tattoo, he's gonna be like, bro, I'm not fighting you again. Like, have fun with my name on your chest for the rest of your life. Like, fuck out of here. That shit's gonna be hilarious, bro. But
he is so corny for that. Like and the thing is, they shook on it too. They shook. He was like, yeah,
really?
At the end, he was like, I'll get it, and they shook on it. That's why I think Jake really might fight the nigga again because he shook on that.
He's not doing that shit, bro.
That's stupid as shit.
Okay, so either he's gonna like do what I said and just still not fight him even after shaking on it and everything, or he's gonna like get his people to contact his people and be like, bro, don't get that fucking tattoo. Like, I'm not fighting you again. That was all just for show. Everybody got their clips off of it. Fuck that nigga Keemstar. He got his clips and stupid ass shit off of that shit. So
that nigga, we had to have a whole podcast about that nigga. I hate that nigga.
No, Keemstar for sure needs to be talked about one of these days because he is just. That nigga needs to be stopped. I just don't see how somebody's community can support such a fucking toxic environment. Like, and that nigga's literally been exposed for saying the N-word like 25 times. And they're all like recent too, and he's still just thriving. But
did you see him on Aiden's stream? He was with Aiden and them in their house. That shit was the most awkward
and nobody was fucking with them.
That shit was so awkward. And he walked in there, he was like, "Hey guys," and he trying to be all hip and shit. They're looking at this nigga like, "What the fuck is this nigga here?" Like, that shit was so
exactly.
Funny. Like 50.
That's what I'm saying.
And they're all like 22. Like, get your old ass out of here. What the fuck are you doing here? Like, they were really saying like that nigga was acting like their dad and shit because he was like going to shake all their hands, and then every time just like one black person would laugh, Keemstar would jump out of his chair and like start screaming while laughing. Like, nigga, it's not that funny. I hate that nigga, bro. That nigga's something else. That's the fucking that's the Tyrone Woodley and Jake Paul fight, bro. I ain't got nothing to say about that dumbass fight. That shit was boring as fuck. Like Jez said, the undercards are a lot more entertaining usually than these last fights with Jake Paul or Logan Paul inside of him.
One of the undercards, the one that one black dude that won by knockout, I didn't watch that fight, missed that fight. But they said that he should fight Jake Paul. That's what a lot of people are saying. I don't know how that would work, but they said they want that nigga to face Jake Paul because they said he was really good when he knocked that nigga out. I don't know though.
Yeah, he was actually pretty good. I actually watched all the undercards. I'd say either him or I think his name is Tommy Fury or Timmy Fury. I think Tyson Fury's little brother. One of those for sure should. Yeah, he's a boxer. Both of them are.
I bet. Yeah, that should be the route. That should be the route for sure.
But,
face both of them. Maybe Canelo. I don't know. Then KSI and then finish it off. Yeah.
If I was gonna speculate for who his next fight would be, I would say probably Tommy Fury, because it's Tyson Fury's little brother, and Tyson Fury is like probably as good as a boxer as Canelo, honestly. But yeah, they're both actually really good. But that's enough talking about that Jake ass nigga, bro. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, that other nigga that was asking for a job. I'm tired of talking to these white niggas. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. That is the fucking. We'll name this podcast later, bro. Unless you guys have something else to talk about the Jake Paul or anything. You guys have anything else to say?
I mean, they're both gonna get their bags regardless. It don't matter to us.
Yeah, they're getting their shit regardless, bro.
No, I think we're good.
That is this week. We'll name this podcast later. We'll try to find another name throughout this next week. But
Matter
hopefully,
of fact, drop your suggestions in the comments, bro.
yes,
Please, bro. Please, bro.
If you made it all the way to the end of this video, we probably should have said it at the beginning, bro. But I'll put something saying like drop some suggestions. But if you made it to the end, bro, help us out with the fucking name. What should we name this shit? I've been seeing things like We Three Kings. Like, nigga, this is not a damn Bible verse, bro. I'm not naming it that shit. I'm not naming it Breaking Bad podcast. I'm not naming it. please give us something.
Someone said name that shit like the Triforce or something. I said,
what the fuck is
that?
Bro, help us, bro. But I'm getting the fuck up out of here, bro.
Also, what's it called? Put like if you have any things that you want us to talk about, maybe we can choose like one of the maybe like one like fan made thing, not fan made thing, but like one community like thing you want us to talk about, maybe.
Well, the suggestion was honestly brought up. I think I sent it to you guys in the group chat, but they said probably a little segment where we talk to somebody in here, like throughout the community or anybody, just like a little small interview, or maybe have them on for a portion of the show, and that'd be actually pretty cool, honestly, if you guys are down for it.
Okay. Yeah, we could definitely do that.
But hell yeah,
we gotta get down on this bitch. Yes,
Don gonna kill this shit, you know. But that has been this week's podcast. Y'all have a good ass rest of your week. It is Monday. You got a smooth 6 more days until we get to talk to you again. You know, keep your head up. We are getting the fuck up out of here, y'all. Peace out, y'all.
All right, later.